Welcome back to the channel. By popular request, we're going to do the video this way. So if you're new here, thanks for your subscribe. If you're crew here, let's continue with the ride.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
According to a recent lawsuit that was filed, P. Diddy might be a pedophile. This new lawsuit alleges that P. Diddy constantly held parties at his house that involved minors, adults who were assaulting these minors, male and female sex workers that were servicing everybody. And this lawsuit even alleges that P. Diddy himself spiked people's drinks at the party to get them looser and convince them to do whatever he wanted them to do. This lawsuit came from one of P. Diddy's former employees, a man nicknamed Little Rod. And this lawsuit is incredibly disturbing and paints a picture of Epstein-level allegations. Allegations that P. Diddy may have been involved in a trafficking ring of sorts. Allegations that P. Diddy forced his employees to go out and procure sex workers for him in his parties. Allegations that P. Diddy violently forced people to do things for him. Allegations that P. Diddy may have murdered people and admitted to it. Amongst many, many other allegations of assault, groping, and yeah, just so many different things. These are some really disturbing allegations, and while they haven't obviously been proven to be true in court yet, the team that actually put these allegations forward claims that they have hundreds of hours of video and audio evidence incriminating P. Diddy and his entire team in this string of illegal acts. I'm sure that this is going to be some really disturbing stuff. I'm going to be sure to cover this story as it unfolds more. And yeah, if this is all true, this is extremely dark and disturbing stuff, and I think that this web is going to spread very far across the music industry.
Wow.
If you go 5 stories below the White House, you'll come across a bunker where the president goes during an emergency. But what most people don't realize is right next to this bunker is a secret tunnel that goes from the White House all the way to the Treasury building across the street. Now, if you're wondering why it ends at the Treasury building, well, it's for a good reason. You see, they started digging this tunnel shortly after the Pearl Harbor attacks, and they chose the Treasury building because it had vaults in the basement. These vaults were converted into safety rooms, and the tunnel was a secure way to get there.
That's crazy.
So this famous YouTube pastor Vlad made this post on YouTube the other day before he took it down hours later. Luckily I have a screenshot. Evidence that the earth is round and not flat. This guy has about 1.5 million followers and a large megachurch. Now I'm not here to attack him, but I just want to show you guys how false this actually is. So he's providing his quote-unquote evidence here that the earth is round and not flat. Here's point number 1. We have pictures of earth from space, he claims. Alright, so if you did a little bit of digging, we know that the most famous picture of the quote-unquote earth is the blue marble. So the blue marble is claimed to be a photograph of earth taken on December 7th, 1972, from 18,000 miles from the planet's surface. But if you go to NASA.gov, you type in Robert Simon aka Mr. Blue Marble, they will tell you how they created this CGI photo, just like they create the rest of them. So first off, they start off by telling you they actually get these photographs from low Earth orbit. And this is from NASA's website, by the way, the people that you're supposed to be trusting. The hard part was creating a flat map of the Earth's surface with 4 months of satellite data. So this wasn't a photo, this was 4 months of satellite data of the Earth's surface from low Earth orbit. Then we wrapped the flat map around a ball. That ball became the famous blue marble. So how are we going to trust them when they say this is a photograph, right? The blue marble is a photograph taken from 18,000 miles away. But then we have NASA's website telling us that it's a flat map that they created with 4 months of low orbit satellite data and then wrapped around a ball. His next point goes on to say, the reason why New York and London have different times is because when it's daytime in one place, it's nighttime in the other. That happens because the earth is round, not flat. Now this one is easily debunked in the scriptures. Hath he set a tabernacle for the sun? which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. Right, so the Most High let us know that the sun moves in a circuit, like a strong man to run a race. Right, you run races on a circular track. This is why we have daytime and nighttime. Because the sun is just a great light, right? God made two great lights, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven. Right, the sun and the moon are local. There is no such thing as outer space. This is a big old fairy tale. Here's his next point. Gravity pulls everything toward the center, making planets naturally form into round shapes, not flat ones. This is a fundamental law of physics. Okay, so he just claimed that gravity is a law. Gravity is actually still a theory. Gravity's never been proven. It's not a law. The reason that things drop, it's not due to some magical force. It is due to that pen being more dense than the air that I just set it in. There's no such thing as gravity. It's a theory. We go by real science, not made up theories. And then once again, he said astronauts in space have taken many pictures of the Earth, clearly showing it's round like a ball. Oh, we already debunked that one. Satellites and space stations orbit around the Earth because it's round. If it were flat, they couldn't go all the way around. Satellites are not orbiting the Earth. They are sitting at a high altitude on balloons. What you're seeing here is the quote-unquote Chinese spy balloon that we had in 2023. All this was one of their satellites that drifted too low out of the ether. Right, NASA is actually the largest helium consumer in the world. You can look up Project Echo. Project Echo was the first passive communications satellite, right? It's just a massive balloon. Look at that. This is how they keep most of them up there. So I just challenge you guys to actually do your research before you listen to people who are just programmed and conditioned by their own beliefs. Right? The scriptures say, let God be true, but every man a liar. Right? The scriptures say, fear before him all the earth. The world also shall be stable, that it be not moved. The Lord reigneth, he is clothed with majesty. The Lord is clothed with strength, wherewith he hath girded himself. The world also shall be established, that it cannot be moved. NASA in Hebrew means to deceive. The scriptures say that the earth cannot be moved. We are not a floating ball in space. We are at the center of the Most High's creation.
If you know, you know. Wow.
You never die. You need to prepare for life after death. If you die with mental addictions to lust, food and power, you will reincarnate. You need to detach from all worldly pleasures. This is why the Bible says, do not love this world nor the things it offers you. When you die, you go into the astral plane. This is the realm of imagination. This is where thought forms manifest into things. When you die with mental addictions to the worldly things, you will be manifested as a demon in the lower astral planes. In the physical plane, you can cover this up, but in the astral, you will manifest whatever you think. The 7 deadly sins are 7 internal states that make you reincarnate after death. Society is molded so that you get addicted to materialism so that you reincarnate. The life and death cycle is manifested every single day, with day and night, or even the winter. Everything dies in the winter and then is born again in the summer. This is a microcosm of life and death. Physical is phi cycle. Phi is the torus field. The torus field creates physical matter. It's the cycle of the torus field. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom PDF. The physical versions will be available on January the 8th in paperback and hardcover.
If you know, you know.
¡Comieron humanos! ¡Asquerosidad! ¡Comieron humanos! Yo no estaba enterada de nada. Que había, o sea, de los asesinatos sí, pero que habían comido humanos.
This is a crazy case of Gabriela Rimz that's been keeping me up the past week. Gabriela was a Mexican model in the early 2000s who grew to fame pretty quick. Aside her looks, from her way of being, her essence, people were very drawn to her. And what appeared to be a normal, successful model on the continuous rise to fame completely changed on August 3rd, 2009 in Monterrey, Mexico, where she completely changed her image for the public eye. She was found going completely manic in front of a very prestigious hotel in Nuevo León, Monterrey, where you could see her distraught, begging for her freedom. She begins yelling out explicit things, saying she's been enslaved to an elite group. She claims she was held against her will, makes claims of unaliving and cannibalism, and then she starts name dropping. She mentions the royal family, Disney, and Carlos Slim, who is one of the richest and most powerful men in Mexico with a net worth of $104.3 billion. She accuses Slim of being responsible for the unaliving of many high-profile politicians, and even claims he lives in a subterranean base where he keeps many missing children. Moments later, she's arrested and she's never seen again. To this day, nobody knows what happened to her, and despite being a famous model, if you go back, if you search her up, none of her records come up but this event. What do you think happened to Gabriela?
That's crazy. Wait, did I say that one already? Wow. No, I said that one too. If you know, you know. Did I say that? Maybe if I say wow differently. Wow.
There's credit cards out there. You can go ahead, get the credit card, and transfer the credit card limit over to your checkings account in hard cash. Yes, they charge you a transaction fee. It's like 4% or something like that. You get like $50K cash, okay? You get like 18 months to pay interest free. Let's say you take that $50K, you invest it into real estate property. With none of your own money, it's going to be growing up in value. You're going to be collecting cash flow. You're going to be making money and saving money at the same time. And you're getting a tax benefit.
So if anyone wonders why I do these videos, this is why I do these videos. You've got morons like this suggesting that people go out and get a $50,000 credit card. But not only that, no, it's not just getting the credit card. He wants you to go max out the credit card, pay a 4% fee to pull the cash out of the credit card because it's interest free for 18 months. Forget the fact you got to make payments on it. But not only that, he wants you to take that money and go buy a piece of real estate. Now, it's one thing if he were coming out there saying, hey, take that $50,000 and go buy a house, which I don't know where you'd buy a $50,000 house, but no. He wants you to go buy a down payment on a house. And I mean that sincerely. If you're buying a down payment, you're not buying a house, okay? Because at this point, you have no money in it. You're having to go to a bank, which they have to ask you, where did the down payment come from? Well, it's come from the credit card I have right here. So it's going to count against you to qualify to buy this wonderful home that he says is going to continue to go up in value because, we all know homes, all they ever do is go up in value. They never go down. Forget about 08, all that kind of good stuff. But, they always go up because you're just going to be able to go buy this property with all this debt against you and no income to go against it. But you're going to be able to do this because everybody can do this. Again, forget about reality for a minute. Put it on the side for a minute. He wants you to go full bore into this bad boy and have no money into it and have debt up the yin-yang thinking that you're going to actually be able to make this work. I don't even know where to begin with these idiots.
Wow.
In 2019, a father in Arizona was jailed for 8 years after beating a man to death after he tried to break into his 16-year-old daughter's bathroom stall. Melvin Harris waited in his car whilst his daughter and her friends went to the bathroom in a convenience store. As they were inside the store, Leon Levin Armstrong, who had a lengthy criminal history, approached Harris asking for money. He then went into the store and into the bathroom, where Harris's daughter claimed he rattled the door of the bathroom stall, trying to get in. She alerted security and then went back to her father's car. Harris was waiting in his car for his daughter and her friends when she emerged from the store, claiming a man had tried forcefully to get into the bathroom stall. As they prepared to leave, Armstrong emerged from the store and the girl pointed him out. Harris then got out of his vehicle and an altercation took place. Harris told police Armstrong threw the first punch. Harris was originally charged with second-degree murder, but he accepted a plea deal which saw the charge reduced to manslaughter. He was sentenced to 8 years in prison.
That's crazy.
The thing that sucks for all my young in here is that you'll be like 18 years old and a chick will expect you to be a millionaire. Like that is an ass. That is garbage, bro. Like, if I was in a dating pool, it's bad for me. So I know it's bad for you, because even like super young chicks be wanting you to already have a crazy bag. I'm like, damn, so I gotta be 18 and a fucking Hellcat. So I gotta be driving a $70,000 to $90,000 vehicle at 18. I gotta have my own shit at 18. I gotta have my own apartment at 18, and I gotta be making 6 figures a year at 18? Or you wanna fuck with the nigga that's 26? Ugh. That's why you young niggas be stressed out, bro. That's why you super young niggas be stressed out, because social media really cooked your generation of chicks. Look at the era you're in. We're living in a social media era. That's why you see all these niggas like falling for chicks, even older niggas falling for chicks, crying over chicks, all that type of shit. I'm gonna say the same shit my mom used to tell me. Chase the bag, don't chase the chicks. And remind you, a woman had told me that, and I never believed it until I had to find out for myself. I spent hella years just kicking back, focusing on bitches, wasting time, and then I just had an epiphany where I was like, man, that shit is useless to me. I feel like you gotta get your heart broken, you gotta fall in love, so you know that it's not real. As a man, it's very important for you to get fucked over early. Don't be the fucking guy that's like 22, get married, rot away in 13 years of your life, then you turn into 33 or 32. Now you just rotted away all these years with a chick, find out she cheated, then you're really not gonna be able to handle it. All my in here, go get cheated on, go fall in love with a chick, experience life, get fucked over, learn it, understand the world is dark, it's cold, people are liars, people are dumbasses, nobody's really authentic, and I'm telling you, figure that shit out.
Let's just talk about your cookies. They're getting older and they've been used.
That don't mean nothing.
You're right, they don't.
Oh, you are Henri. You are.
No, I'm honest. I'm honest, ma'am.
Let's be realistic, Samuel. It's about value.
Yeah, and your value is low.
Oh, wow. And how do you know that?
Because you're 5'4" and 200 pounds.
Okay.
And 37 years old with 2 kids. That's how I know. In Kentucky.
Okay. That's your opinion.
It's not my opinion.
You never seen my body before, so you.
I don't have to see your body. I know you're 5'4" and almost 200 pounds with 2 kids in Kentucky, and I see your picture, and I'm listening to how you talk, and I'm listening to your energy. I'm listening to your tone. I'm listening to your relationships. See what it is. You ladies don't like when somebody is this direct with you. Honest. I got no dog in this fight. I had a woman on here earlier, and I told her she was absolutely gorgeous. I ain't trying to screw you. You ain't giving me no money. What am I getting out of this?
Nothing.
So why do I have to lie? Let's just get right to the absolute core of it. Are you attracting higher value men?
Am I attracting higher value men?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
For marriage.
Okay, repeat that one more time.
Are you attracting them for marriage?
No. Be honest with you, no.
Because you're not.
If you know, you know.
Young Thug may be going away for a little bit, man. His lawyer was arrested on gang charges today. And her social media presence is a doozy. Today, it came out that YSL defense attorney Nicole Fagan was arrested on gang charges. This had to do with her contacting a suspect that the Atlanta PD was investigating in a double shooting back in 2022. She warned him about active warrants for his arrest. Now, this woman's Instagram is, for the lack of a better word, special. As we can see here on her account at Fagan Law, she's, you know, she's a shooter. Here she is, I think, throwing, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I may be invited to the cookout if I'm lucky, but like I don't really know. Like I don't know if these are gang signs, but I think she posted herself iced out, throwing up gang signs on her Instagram.
Period, folks. Period.
Here she was with some money. Throwback, hashtag got proof, hashtag 50 did it first. Along with her singing along to some rap, she also posted some memes like this one. When opposing counsel whips out video surveillance of your client and try to act like you can't tell who it is. But Young Thug's cooked, man. He's cooked. Like he's cooked.
Every time we plead not guilty in the first place. I look my demon in the face, I'm booted up the worst way.
I feel for him. I really do. I mean, he hired a gutter bunny to be his lawyer. He hired a gutter bunny to be his lawyer. Like, he's cooked, man. Like we could be looking at triple-digit years.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. All right. And that's on camera. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. And that's in the name of Jesus, sir. That's in the name of Allah, Buddha, all that shit. He's not going to touch me. I want my chocolate. That's your people. Talk to him. Touch me. Don't touch me. Touch me. Touch me. Touch me. You got that right? You got that right? There ain't no welcome you back to the
Yo, this feels so illegal to know. This is why you gotta be careful posting stuff on the internet, because whatever you delete can be found, and I found it. For example, if you have a Twitter and you're posting a lot of stuff, and this is all in the past, right? And you decide that you want to be a better human, and then you just like start removing stuff and deleting all your messages and comments off of like, you know, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, just so you won't get caught up. But if someone knows about this tool, then it doesn't even matter because they can just do this. Let me show you. So what you want to do is type this in right here, hit enter. Then you want to click this right here. And this is not just for like deleting messages. This is for books and websites, absolutely anything. So if they once had it on their website and they took it down or modify it, it will be here. So for news articles, absolutely everything. So now let's go for Twitter. So I went on Twitter, copy my URL and put status, because when you make a post, that's what it is. Look what happened when I hit enter. Bro, this is all the stuff I deleted, and it goes way back. Let's click one of these. All right, it's loading. Oh, this is crazy.
Wow. If you know, you know.
I'm about to show you can't unsee. It is the equivalent of taking the red pill, deconstructing the universe, taking you back to your childhood. Imagine, if you will, the simplest shapes, the triangle, the circle, and the square. These shapes, when dimensionalized, become very interesting. These shapes in themselves represent three different things. The triangle represents the ethereal plane, the square represents the physical plane, and the circle represents the eternal plane. When you see the actual circle, it's the wheel, it's the never-ending, it's the eternal, it's the expansiveness of all things. When you look at the triangle and the square as they come together, you actually see what we call, we look into Egypt, the actual Great Pyramids. We talk about the 3 points of the triangle that actually are the ethereal plane, and they stand for mentalism, correspondence, and energy. They are the isness of singularity. They are the single point of all things, where all things start. The physical plane is in constant rotation with the ethereal plane, through rhythm, polarity, karma, and gender. In order for the physical plane to receive, the physical plane has to be in balance. This is what we call free will choice. When we're able to receive the divine in human form, we're able to turn around and create expansiveness. At this point, we expand into the eternal plane. Through the law of correspondence, the eternal plane lives as above, so below, and that is when all things start to shape and shift, and that is when we move into a different and higher dimension. These are the clues that we've been left. This is what we're here to remember.
I like to fuck him in the ass while he beat up the pussy. I'm the number one.
Yo! That better be AI! Yo! That gotta be AI! Wait!
Ass while he beat up the pussy. I'm the
Oh! Yo, the old niggas was getting away with a lot of shit. We can't talk about thug wearing nails anymore. Old niggas was...
Life is a file which gets recorded by the two eyes and stored within the mind. You do not encounter the external world. You experience electrical impulses on your nervous system. You do not see into reality. The eyes are black holes. They suck in the light and the image is produced in the visual cortex. There is no past and future, there's only an infinite and indefinite now, which is infinitely running. You're in a folded time and space simulation. Earth rearranged is heart, because your body is simulating Earth to your consciousness. When the heart stops, you leave Earth, which is the body. You are eternal, you never die. Death is a transition.
This ventriloquist face billionaire hag is a villain that y'all think Wendy Williams is, and it's time to wake.
Oh, if we're going to talk about Oprah, I got a good one. You remember that time in September 2004 that she gave her entire audience a car? Of course you do. It was extremely iconic. You get a car, and you get a car. People could stop saying that shit for years. All 276 audience members ended up getting a Pontiac G6 worth $28,500. First of all, it wasn't a gift. It was all PR. It was all big promotion from Pontiac. And they used the money from their advertising budget, which was smart because everyone kind of said it was one of the biggest stunts in television history. When you win a prize on TV, remember, very different than getting a gift, you got to pay taxes on that. If you win something on The Price is Right, you pay taxes on that before you leave. Now, General Motors, not Oprah, paid a little bit of the taxes, but each individual audience member was responsible for $7,000 on average of taxes to get their car. But they're still getting a free car. That's pretty good, right? Well, the people that they filled the audience with were specifically people in need of a car. That means people who are in need, meaning they probably don't have $7,000 just lying around. My bad. Did I say 7,000? Well, remember, this is 2004. So with inflation, you're talking about like 11,500 just lying around that you're not going to get back. But they're still getting a car, bro. That's pretty cool. Well, think about this. In 2004, Oprah was the 514th richest person in the world, worth $1.1 billion. She could have so easily said to these people that she sent her producers out to find that were in need, hey guys, I'm going to pay the $7,000 on average for your 276 cars. And that will cost me $1.9 million, which seems like a lot. But if you put that into 1.1 billion, that is 0.18 around of her entire net worth. That doesn't seem like a lot. For some perspective, let's say you took someone who was worth $50,000, right? All of their, their savings, and if they sold their assets, and they're worth $50,000. So what would 0.18 be to them? Yeah. That's the equivalent of what it would have cost Oprah to just give those needy, deserving people cars. It is not as simple as, she gave them cars. Why are you picking this apart? She gave herself extreme PR to the point that people hold her up as a god. She didn't give a fuck about any of these people. She couldn't spend what to the average, not even the average person, a person who's doing really well, $90. I don't even know what it would be for the average person. 10? She doesn't give a fuck, dude. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. Just don't make her a saint.
Okay, so get this. After World War II, there was this guy named William Levitt. And William Levitt had this idea to build the suburbs. Suburbia was his idea of cheap, affordable living away from the cities for white people. Why white people? Because we're still racist and it's America in the 1940s. But it's America in the 1940s? What does that mean? We were fighting in World War II? Black and white people were fighting in World War II? So why is it that when they got back, it was only white people who were allowed in the suburbs, systemically leaving the black population to increase in cities like Philadelphia? It's just crazy that this white flight from the 1940s to the 1960s was around the same time the FDA started requiring more rigorous requirements for their drugs. It's also crazy how they talk about this in certain media, like in that movie, They Cloned Tyrone. Could just be satire, but that movie's main theme is talking about how there's secret government organizations under black communities that are treating those black communities as science experiments. And they're perfectly okay with doing this because it's just a bunch of black people and they've systemically worked that out. If they don't keep this place dangerous, white people will want to come in here, and then how can we do our experiments if white people we actually consider as people, are here? And I know that's just a movie, but let's get back to the historical facts that just can't be a coincidence. By 1960, the housing prices in Kensington, as this little case study, dropped. Crime rates increased, police brutality was still fucked. In fact, the cops are corrupt, so they're actually participating in a lot of the drug stuff going on. Okay, so World War II ends in 1945. 1946, suburbia is being created. 1946 to 1960s, the white flight is happening. More and more white people are leaving the city, leaving the black community to increase. And you're telling me that 1960, once they got most of these fucking white people out, they start enacting the comprehensive plan to put in parks, libraries, and other shit? Why couldn't you have done the renovations before? But like the comprehensive plan, what I just mentioned, could be a cover-up. That's kind of what I'm insinuating here. In Philadelphia specifically, there was a university, and I can't name it for legal reasons. In 1965, this particular university becomes officially a public university, officially accredited now by the Commonwealth System of Higher Education. And you want to know what else happened in 1965? The Elementary and Second Education Act. It was signed into law to provide federal funding in hopes to improve educational opportunity for disadvantaged students. What do you think they mean by disadvantaged? So you're telling me they cleared out all the white folk from these areas, these disadvantaged areas, and then made laws about how they were going to forcibly help them?
Wow.
Black women do not have long hair. They do not have long natural hair. Black hair does not grow. It does not grow at the same speed as other races. If you are one of the unicorns where you can cut your hair.
If you know, you know. But that's it this time. Come back again. We'll do it again.